Let's get salty!
Everyone, Zeddy here again with another Lost City of Un'Goro card review, and we have another batch of neutral cards. Are any of them any good? Well, one can let you copy basically any minion your opponent plays. That's kind of neat. And we got a new Ogre. Will any of them see any play? I'm kind of doubtful, but we'll take a look at these cards, and if you want to win these amazing Baroque cards, we are giving away 2 regular pre-orders, 2 mega bundles out of my pocket to enter the giveaway. Like and comment in the video, link down description below. The one with that thumbnail over there. Please subscribe to the channel. Every 1,000 subs we get until all the cards are revealed, I will add another mega bundle, so hit that sub button, make me go Baroque. So starting off, we have a really rad looking elemental and dragon. Maybe good in our shaman quest, get those tribes going. The Whirling Storm Drake. It is a 9 mana 8/8 minion with rush and Windfury, and it's got the keyword of kindred, gain immune this turn. So if you played an elemental or a dragon in the prior turn, this will have immune. It can hit for what, 16 damage minimum, I guess, if it has, unless it's been debuffed in your hand by, you know, that treant everybody plays that takes 2 attack away. Of course, I gotta think of all the possibilities here. Oh yeah, be immune, and then it'll stick around, and if they don't kill it, you're probably dead. You dark gift this and give it charge. That could be pretty cool too. But again, it's 9 mana. I don't know why I say it, but again, I didn't actually say that earlier. Well, actually I did. I did say it was a 9 mana card. Yes, it's 9 mana, which I guess Druid can make this 5 mana, I suppose, or you had Narrowlax. I guess I'm glad Narrowlax is nerfed, because would you have just thrown this into Zarimi Priest and have just a 1 mana 8/8 Windfury? That would have been pretty freaking awful. Let's be happy Narrowlax has since been nerfed, and as a result, yeah, this card probably doesn't see play, right? It's something that could be spawned now out of the Imbue Paladin at 9, which is really good. There's implications for that, but in terms of playing it in your deck, probably not high on the list. Yeah, I gotta give it a 1 out of 5 in Standard and Wild. It's got a, by the way, a really, really nice signature too. Maybe it'll be good enough. I don't know. If they unnerved Narrowlax, right? But thank goodness that happened, because this card would have been absolutely absurd in that deck. But yeah, 1 in Standard and Wild. And we have another throwback card here to adapt in the Ancient Raptor, a 2 mana 2/1 beast. This is an epic for some reason, and it has Battle Cry, choose to gain +3 attack, Divine Shield, or Death Rattle, summon 2/1 plant. So again, those are all adapt options. So you could have a 2 mana 5/1. My goodness, Magma Rager, power creep, or, you know, the Divine Shield. And I guess it's almost like the Death Rattle plants is almost comparable to like a Haunted Creeper, which hasn't been good enough in Hearthstone in like forever. Overall, again, I doubt you're playing this, but maybe Token Hunter. I could look at like a Token Hunter. It's just decent, right? You get the 2/1 beast, you get the 1/1 plants. They're not beasts themselves, I believe, the plants. There should just be textless, but still, like, that might not be the worst option in the world. That's the main thing I see with this. I don't think the Divine Shield or attack is helping me out a ton, but yeah, maybe in Token Hunter, a token deck just to get those guaranteed plants could be pretty nice. And it's got the beast tag, and there is some kindred synergy going on with all these different beasts that maybe, just maybe, it works. So I'll give it a 2 out of 5 in Standard. I'll give it a 1 in Wild, where there's just better cards. There's better cards for this in Wild, but in Standard, maybe it's like a fringe pick in that Token Hunter. And speaking of beasts, we have the Primal Saber Tooth, and this card's kind of crazy. It's a 4 mana 5/3 stealth beast, and after this attacks and kills a minion, you get a copy of it. So this has stealth, which makes it, you know, harder to interact with. And yeah, if they play a very valuable minion on the board, you attack in, you get a copy of that card. Effectively a neutral copy steal card that isn't Bob, right? And he would outright steal it for a bit. Now it's a copy, but yeah, pretty cheap option. And in Hunter, you can imbue and make this cheaper. Of course, there's beast synergies, and it's just something that could maybe get some value. I see this as a super annoying arena card. Like, this type of card's great in arena, where it's a lot harder to interact with stealth stuff, and value typically matters a lot more, even in this absolutely crazy arena we're seeing going on right now. This might not be the worst pick in the world when that comes around, but on ladder, it's probably a very, very fringe pick probably not really worth it. When's the like value just doesn't typically matter on ladder these days, which is kind of sad. It's got to be value that does something really impactful, and this just probably doesn't make it. Again, I'm not going to give this a 1. I'll give it a 2. I'm sure there's people out there that'll enjoy the greediness of it, and maybe like a Burgle Rogue even, like, right? You play it, you kill it, and then you get a copy of it, and then you can play it, and that's part of your Burgle package. Probably not worth, right? But I don't think it's a complete 1-star card, so I'll give it a 2 in standard, and yeah, 1 in wild. It's more likely a 1 in standard, but it's just like that it does something unlike some of these other cards. And well, speaking of this, we have a card that kind of did something that Deathlight had for a bit, and Lisa Frost. The Crater Gator, a 4-mana 5/4 beast, battle cry. Until the start of your next turn, the enemy hero can't be healed. There was like a gargantuan card that Deathlight had where I think it was just a 3/6, and while it was on the board, your opponent couldn't heal themselves. It saw 0 play. It was terrible. And like, just how often do people want to heal? It's not that even Priest has terrible healing. Like, there's not that much healing. It's like gaining health, plenty of in Deathlight. There's plenty of armor gain going on. There is some healing out there, but it's just going to be like timing and weird. And yeah, this is a 1-star card in standard and wild. I don't see it, even if it's premium stats in a tribe. I just don't think you really care about that effect unless there's some really like crazy heal meta we're in where everyone's healing and you want to throw a Crater Gator at them and you still, like, you're not doing any, like, if you're playing this, why do they want to heal? I don't know. It's weird. Next we have a 3-mana 5/5, a new ogre, the Petrified Ogre. Insane stats for the cost. However, this one starts dormant, and while dormant, it gains +2/+2 at the start of your turn. It also has the 50% chance thing here. It has a 50% chance to awaken instead. So you could play this on 3 as a dormant 5/5, and then it could just awaken as a 5/5 the next turn. So it's kind of like a 3-mana 5/5 for 4 mana, or for your turn 4. Like, it's not gonna be able to attack. It's still a little bit decent, and if it doesn't awaken, it's a 7/7, then a 9/9, and it keeps it could theoretically never awake. It could just get infinitely bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and just never come out to play, right? Like, that could possibly happen. And when it comes out, it doesn't do anything. It doesn't have rush, it doesn't have taunt, it doesn't have anything else going on other than brute stats. But I think it's a clever, cool, I like when they make these ogre cards. I don't know, they like never see play. He's not part of the ogre gang either, which is kind of a bummer or anything like that. But hey, cool, we got a new ogre, and I could give another ogre a 1-star out of 5 in standard, a 1-star in wild. But I like the art on it. I like the design. It's just obviously not going to be a great card. We have the Rock Skipper, a new neutral Murloc, 2-mana 1/3, so not premium stats. What's going on here? However, it's got Battle Cry, get a 1-cost rock that deals 3 damage. So it's a whole like rock that you could excavate out, and I think you could get as a piece of junk from the Dust Bunny and a Rogue. You know, nothing amazing, but it's burst. It's relatively cheap burst, and you get it guaranteed from this card. I don't think you've had a card that guarantees the rock before. Not Dwayne the Rock Johnson, but you know, a 1-cost rock, right? So that's kind of nice, and you can throw this into a Murloc deck that wants that Murloc Kindred stuff we've seen going on, and maybe a Murloc deck emerges and this wouldn't be the worst fit. It just, yeah, it kind of sucks to play a 2-mana 1/3, but hey, you get some reach, and Murloc decks typically don't have a ton of like flexibility, reach, things to remove. That could be kind of nice. I'll give it a 2 out of 5 in standard, 2 out of 5 in wild, where there's a bunch of Murloc decks. Probably doesn't make the cut, or probably Murloc decks won't emerge well enough for this to be good enough, but I don't think it's terrible by any means. We have the Strangle Vine, a 3-mana 3/2 neutral minion again, Death Rattle, give a random friendly minion random bonus effect, and this Death Rattle. So it's the whole like bouncing around Death Rattle mechanic again. We're seeing that a lot, and instead of getting stats, you get a random bonus effect. So like Divine Shield or Windfury or Elusive, or you know, those things. They're usually not that great, and this is not that great. It's bad stats, and you're just getting bonus effects. And I guess if it keeps hopping around and giving bonus effects to all sorts of stuff, that might be okay, but it's probably going to be crap. You rather stats, and even most of the cards that hop stats around have been pretty bad, other than that one hunter spell, and that immediately got nerfed because it was too good. Yeah, I'm giving it a 1 out of 5 in standard, a 1 out of 5 in wild. Doesn't even have a tribe. I don't think bonus effects are really worth all that much. Next, we have the Willful Watcher. This is a 4 mana, 4/7 taunt with Death Rattle. Destroy the top 3 cards of your deck. Isn't that awesome? I mean, you're getting an overstated taunt, but not by that much, right? We've had 4 mana 7/7 taunts before that did see play. They couldn't attack, but still, this has a pretty large downside unless, of course, like Kill Jaden's active, and who cares about deleting demons, that your infinite portal and all of that. Thankfully, it doesn't destroy the top cards of your opponent's deck, but you're really getting an upside on your upside. Well, that does happen a lot in Hearthstone these days, but yeah, it's a pretty big downside. I mean, you could be playing a deck where you just don't really care about the specific value of any card. You're just playing for like aggression and just, you know, putting out a lot of stats. You play that 2 mana 3/5 we saw earlier. You just don't care. You are a reckless, aggressive player playing big stuff, but even having taunt almost is kind of like, I guess it's not really a downside. Maybe you can protect your aggressive minions, but this type of strategy hasn't been like effective almost ever in Hearthstone. Usually like a type of thing like this needs to be silenced or abused in some way, and nothing's really coming up on the top of my head with this card. So again, we're gonna give this one yet another 1 out of 5 in standard and wild. We also have the final card here with really cool art, the Peterox Egg, a 3 mana 0/3 egg with Death Rattle. Summon a 3/3 Peterox that steals 1 health from all other minions, and then you get that adorable juvenile Peterox. So it starts to 3/3, right? And then it will steal. So if there's 6 minions on your side of the board and 7 on your opponent's, that could steal up to 13 health. That's pretty good, I guess. But like, that's it, right? And you gotta proc this. It has 0 attack. So you got self-destruction stuff we always have in these egg decks, which could be all right, but it's a weird one. You don't typically see these things be like almost a defensive buffing card. It's kind of unique. Most eggs typically see some play. I just have no idea where the heck this would go. Maybe Token Hunter, right? Maybe they want more eggs. They only have that like really good 2 mana egg right now. Maybe they throw that in there, and it's just once you proc it, you get this big egg, or you know, you proc the Death Rattle with that 2-drop, and this could do that twice. Maybe that's worth it. Like, I don't know. This one's definitely one people have to play with. I'm kind of not like in love with it looking at it, but it's probably got more potential than almost all the other neutral cards we've been looking at, even if it's not the craziest thing in the world. I will go out of my way. I gave almost every neutral, actually I did give every neutral, I think like a 2 or less. I will give this egg a 3 because it's 3 mana. It gives you a 3/3. And my God, one of these neutrals has to see play, right? So we'll go with the egg. Usually the egg is the safer bet. A 3 in standard, a 2 in wild. And I believe that is it for the neutrals. I don't know if there's any more period, but yeah, that's it for today. Let me know what you guys think of the cards in the comments down below. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day and stay salty, my friends.